What is going on, everyone? James Livingston here, back again, bringing you guys yet another review as far as how I did in the market here today and yesterday, because I actually forgot to do my review video for yesterday. So overall, for today, unfortunately, not a great day. Had a couple of losing trades, ended up down on the day a total of $300. Nothing crazy. Still up, on the month in general. And yesterday alone was able to make up, both 2 days ago's losses and today's loss, and still put me up on the week. Only $61, nothing crazy. But, I've only traded for about 3 days out of the week. You can see a very consistent pattern that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are generally my days that I am trading. I'd like to make it a little bit more Monday and Tuesday. It's just, to be honest, with my schedule and stuff, the beginning half of the week, I tend to just not trade. I don't know what it is, but I just don't end up getting into trades. I'm either too tired in the evenings to even trade, or I just don't feel like it. I don't see the setups I need to be able to take trades. So with that being said, let's go ahead and go over yesterday's trades, see exactly what went on there yesterday. So had 2 solid wins on gold yesterday's trading session. So let's go on over to MGC. I was trading the micros here on gold, and I traded them, I believe, long. We were long on gold yesterday morning. So looking back through my stats here, I just want to see exactly when I got in. So it looks like we entered in those longs on gold at about noon. So we can see here yesterday when I got in those at noon, it was about right here. Essentially, I was taking the break off of the 33.42, was looking for longs on the way up to the 33.50s. So again, I'm not 100% sure on the stop loss, but typically I go with 2-to-1 setups. So the stop loss was likely down here by 33.36. But like I said, entering around 33.42s, I was targeting 33.52, I believe. So that one was almost instantly completely profit. Had a nice trade there. I believe we netted about 400 on that trade. And that was a very quick one. That was about 10-15 minutes in that one in total. So it worked out really well in our favor. And then after that trade, we did end up taking another long. I saw it came back down in this area. I believe that was around the VWAP from yesterday. So we looked for another long position at 33.45. Target was back up to the high of day, I believe, another 2-to-1 style setup. It was very tight stop loss under the VWAP. And we got a nice little push, I believe, around this area right here at 33.49. As soon as I started seeing it go up to 33.49, 33.50 area, I had a feeling that we could find some rejection there. As you can see, we had a little bit of a support there from the first move that fell through, so I expected that support to now turn to a resistance. So when we hit that area, I did go ahead and peel it off. I did go ahead and take at least half the position off. And then once we started turning on this candle right here, I decided to just clock off the whole position at that point. So that was another 250 trade right there. That netted us a total of $698 yesterday's trading session. Now let's move into today. Now, primarily, I am a gold trader. I do tend to trade gold a little bit more. I was actually waiting for this setup here. You can see it's still on my chart. I was waiting for this entry into this area for a short position back down. It looks like that's honestly kind of what's playing out at the moment. But instead of keeping my focus on gold, I actually shifted over to ES. Now, keep in mind on ES, I saw that we have been in this range for quite some time. I mean, we've been kind of just stuck right here, really short bias for the most part. And I honestly, looking back on it, I should have been riding the short bias as well. I mean, we got constant rejections from yesterday's New York VWAP, and I should have ran with that idea that we were going to keep going down. But instead, I was looking for longs here. Now, the first setup that I went for was actually a pullback off of this initial move. Now, the first trade that I did end up taking on ES was this push up here. And the big thing that I was looking for in this trade was continuation and potentially a break over the current high of day at that time. I took the trade at 10:48-ish, so it was just down after we had this little pull down towards the New York VWAP and yesterday's VWAP. And at that moment, I went for the long position here. I believe I had a stop loss down around 58.97, and I was targeting upwards of this 59.43 area, looking for a nice, solid, 2-to-1 setup. Nothing crazy there. But as you can see, sellers have just been relentless, pulling us down pretty much all day. So that initial one we pulled down, I didn't let it go to my stop loss. I actually took it off for $130 stop right around here, just because I did not like the way we pushed up and instantly got rejected on this candle here. So we killed that position right away. And then the second one here that I did mention, on my Instagram story was basically I took a long off of this push here. I thought maybe we had a little flag style setup off of the New York VWAP from today. And unfortunately, the sellers just pressed on the gas pedal there, pushed it right down through. And instead of letting it go full stop loss, which would have been $260 loss on just that trade alone, I did take it off at about $1.60 total. So ending off the day here about negative 300. And once I take 2 losses in a row, guys, I pretty much hit the manual lockout button and just said, this is it, I'm done. Now, I didn't lock myself out for the entire day. I just gave myself a little 30-minute break, but that's why I love this platform so much. It's just because of how easy it is to give yourself that break. Sometimes you need it. Look back on the trades if you want to and continue on trading. But obviously the bias all day has been bearish ever since we kind of had that push down yesterday and continued pushing down here today. As you can see, we're down in the 58.60s as low as 58.50 just about. So the move was not in the bulls direction as I had anticipated it would be. It was definitely for the bears. You can see once we broke this uptrending higher low situation that the bears stepped on the gas, and we've since been pushing down further and further. So it's Friday. I don't want to go into the weekend with too steep of a loss. I don't want to kill my mental to start off next week. So I just decided, cut it where it's at. We'll be done for the day. Still green on the week, so I'm happy with that, especially for only having 3 days trading, one of them being the green day. It just goes to show when you trade your plan, when you trade accordingly, cut losses sooner, that you can still prevail and come out green overall. Trading is a lot of mental. At the end of the day, I want to protect my mental. So taking that losses when I needed to and riding off into the sunset, go into the weekend, take my mind completely away from trading and move on to the next day. So nonetheless, guys, hopefully you did enjoy this video. Hopefully these kinds of videos help you guys to just kind of understand, when is it right to take losses? It's okay to be losing. I mean, overall, looking at my stats for this current, I'm still at a 64% win rate. So I'm still overall happy with the trading. Had a couple more losses than I'd like, but even looking over here in my stats, you can still see my profit factor is sitting up there in that 1.6 range. So I'm pretty happy with it overall. I think that I'm doing just fine. Just got to stay the course, and we'll get to pay out and we'll get to the finish line in no time. So like I said, hopefully you guys do enjoy these videos. If you do, please drop a like down below, comment, let me know what you guys are thinking, subscribe if you're new, and of course I will see you in the next educational video.